All right, all right, all right. You gonna learn today. What's going on, family? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the midweek analysis. We're gonna be brief tonight. We already see um, what markets have been doing according to the pre-week analysis. So, before I jump into it, let me give a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Nothing that I share during this analysis is for financial advice. Everything that I share during this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is not financial advice. Everything that I share during this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans, cool beans. So let's get into it. Looking back at the pre-week analysis, as you guys can see, I already have it the same markings on my chart from the pre-week analysis. If you look at the bottom of this arrow, you can see where I was targeting. If you follow my crosshairs to the left of the chart, you see that I was targeting this fair value gap right here on the daily time frame, right? Um, Targeting here. This was actually my first point of interest, this sell side liquidity, right? And then the fill of this daily BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And lastly, this daily fair value gap here, right? So we reached down into this fair value gap. So that agenda is done. I've reached that agenda, and I'm expecting DXY to pull back up into Thursday's price range. Um, I would like to see us pull up into at least 50% of the fair value gap created here, right? I would like to see us pull up in there. So that's what that purple level is that you see on my chart. So I would like to see us pull up in there, right? And then continue lower. So something like this going forward. Something like that going forward, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Something like that going forward, right? And then we will be targeting the next sell side liquidity here, right? And then we got a small daily fair value gap right here. So as price continue lower, we will just target areas of liquidity, right? Where there's going to be sell stops and buy limits. And that's where liquidity is sitting, right? So price is always drawn towards those areas of liquidity and areas of imbalance or inefficiencies in the marketplace, right? So that's what I'm expecting going forward for the rest of the week with the dollar, a pullback tomorrow, right? Because Thursday is usually a what? Usually tends to be a reversal day or a pullback day, right? So that lines up with what we're seeing on the charts right now. So that's what I would like to see out of Dixie for the rest of the week. Let's look at our currency pairs. Euro USD. You see, we got what we was looking for. I erased the arrows off of the currencies and everything else. You guys can go back and look at the pre-week analysis and see it with your own two eyes where I wanted to see price reach for this week. And it was this daily fair value gap that we have here. And I also stated that I was bullish for futures this week, right? Cool beans, cool beans. So with that being said, I haven't marked my daily PD arrays for currencies. You know, I mostly I only trade futures, so I just hadn't got around to putting it on there. But that's what your tools over here is for, and your analysis is for. So you can put in that work and do it yourself. That's the only way you're gonna get better at this thing. So I would like to see Euro USD pull back down into 50% of fair value of this move, right? So 50% of this fair value gap or 50% of this candle, right? I would like to see us pull down into there, right? And of course, if you want to throw um your fib on there to add your discount PD array levels, by all means do that because price could come down and through that 50% level, right? And come down and reach for those discount PD arrays. So I am, of course, expecting something like this out of when we come down into there to continue to the upside, right? So I expect us to continue to pull back tomorrow down through here. First, we got to break through this daily fair value gap, of course, right? You know that we can't just jump ahead of a whole daily fair value gap, right? That's now acting as a inversion fair value gap, right? So, yeah, we have to break through there first, right? And if we do that, um, throughout the rest of Asian and over London markets tomorrow, then yeah, I would expect us to break below here aggressively, then pull back up into it, not break above the consequent encroachment of the daily fair value gap, this level line, yellow line here, 50% of that fair value gap, and continue lower, right? If we break through that aggressively. That's what I would expect. I would expect us tomorrow, all of this would happen tomorrow, right? Or over tonight in London, right? And tomorrow, right? And so I would expect price to pull down into this area somewhere, right? Pull back up and make one more reach down, right? Let's see where that 50% of this candle is. Right. Something like that. And your PD arrays is down in here, 62%. Price could come down into that 62. Back on top of that weekly buy side liquidity level that it just pushed through and continue to the upside. So that's what I'm expecting out of Euro USD. I do expect us to end the week up. These equal highs right here are really clean. I think that price is going to be um, drawn to these fairly equal highs right here, right? I think that we're going to price up and through those. And yeah, that's what I want to see for Euro USD. GBP USD, same thing. Let's see. 50%. Are we hit the 50% right now? So Let's see if we're gonna pull back down into the PD array levels, right? The 62% and 79% level for the discount entry, or if we're gonna respect this 50% level that's sitting right there with the weekly buy side liquidity, right? And continue, oh, excuse me, and continue to push up to the upside. Yeah, these highs right here look very, very attractive. They're very clean. These three highs right here, they're very clean. And that is a daily fair value gap as well that sits right above these three highs. So I think that's where GBP is being drawn to. Last but not least, NZD/USD. Look how NZD/USD came right down inside of that weekly PD array area that I had circled right here, right? Came right down. Now, I was only calling for NZD/USD to run this low, right? But I told you that it could extend lower, right? Down to inside the weekly PD array levels right there by that monthly sell side liquidity. And if you look, it came down and kissed that monthly sell side liquidity and rocketed in the opposite position, in the opposite direction. So that was beautiful right there. That was completely anticipated and predicted. Go back and watch the pre-week analysis. And I told you guys that we would be targeting buy side liquidity, weekly buy side liquidity, and you see we ran right up and through that, and up through that consequent encroachment too. Closed off of it today or yesterday, right? Opened up, selling off of it. Let's see. 50% right there. Let's see if we get NZD to pull back down to that 50%. If not, if we respect this tiny, well, it was a big inversion fair value gap, but this wick right here pushed up through it, but it still left it open, so it still certifies as a inversion fair value gap, right? So let's see if we get price to pull back down up in there and continue to the upside. If we can't get, then I want to mark that. If we can't get below that 50% to start with, then that's extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. So that's what I'm expecting out of NZD to close the week. Just pull back down in here and run it up. Run it up. Next point of entry would be this buy side liquidity right here. So that being said, let's keep it pushing, keep it pushing. Euro US, I'm sorry, futures, E-mini S&P 500. So basically, had this drawn out for you guys as well. You can go back and look at pre-week analysis, and you can see that I wanted us to end the week up. I wanted this to, I wanted to see bullish candles this week. I was bullish for futures this week, bearish for the dollar, right? Because we know that futures are inversely correlated with the dollar typically, right? Meaning they move in the opposite direction of the dollar. So of course, if I was bearish dollar, I was bullish futures. And I drew your attention to this daily fair value gap that we see here. I told you guys that if we held above the consequent encroachment of this daily fair value gap, which is a SIBI, the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and I told you that we should reach up into this fair value gap, right? And potentially this daily fair value gap as well, right? And we held above that. So we seen price push up into the point of interest areas, right? Which was this fair value gap and this fair value gap, right? So we I am expecting price to pull back down to at least 50% of this imbalance, right? Which is this purple line right here. But I do have my daily PD array levels on there, discount array levels right here, the black levels you see them right here, 62.79, right? So I will allow for price to pull back down to those levels and still be bullish, right? But um, if we break below this sell side liquidity from Tuesday, then I would start to adjust, right? Because we would have to get below this swing low right here, right? And then I would adjust and start looking for areas of imbalance to the downside that price may be targeting, right? So just, I allow price to say what it is that it want to do, or speak to me and tell me what it is that it's going to do, and then I just piggyback and catch a ride, with price. So that being said, it was a beautiful week. My students killed it this week. Shout out to Kane, shout out to Will, shout out to um my man. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Shout out to my man. Come on now, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Um, Shout out to my man Leroy. Yeah, how could I forget you? My man Leroy killed it this week as well. So, yeah, guys, if you want to get in that Telegram group, um, precisionpipsllc.com. Um, precisionpipsllc.com. Sign up for the silver package. So that being said, um, I'm expecting the price to pull back and continue higher. So for Thursday, for tomorrow, I would like to see price retrace, and then maybe over uh, tomorrow's Asian market going into London and New York AM and PM session, we see price run these highs right here and reach up into this daily volume imbalance, right? I think that's what price is being drawn to, this daily volume imbalance. And so that's what my targets are set on. That's what my sights are set on. So last but not least, something like this. Um, Last but not least, NQ. Same thing for your NQ. See, I already got futures marked up, my daily levels and everything. And now I didn't have that on currencies. If you're a currency trader, I apologize. You have to add your levels for yourself. Same thing, NQ. Here's what has me more bullish on ES than NQ. As you can see, for that daily volume imbalance, let me make sure that's the same date, August the 1st. August the 1st, yeah. Okay. For EQ, you see we already breached that volume imbalance, right? Both of them have a volume imbalance right there, right? We already breached it for EQ. But for ES, we hadn't even got close to it, right? So I expect us to reach up for that. I don't know if we get it by the close Friday, but I definitely expect us to be near it, a lot closer than what it currently is. So put that in your notepads, and it don't matter whether I'm right or wrong anyway, because the market can do whatever it wants to do, and is going to do whatever it wants to do. But this is just my analysis and my foresight on where I predict markets to go, or what I anticipate markets to go. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. So as always, oh yeah, let me show you though. Go back to NQ. Sorry, I didn't wrap it up. There is another small volume imbalance on NQ right above this one right here. All right, see that one? Let me mark it for you. So we can very well see NQ reach up into that fair value gap as well, right? All right. So we can see NQ reach up in there, and I mean, just look at the difference between NQ and ES. So if ES reaches all the way up here to close the week, even if ES reaches up here to run these equal highs, right? I could very well see NQ running up into this upper volume imbalance by the end of the week as well. So that's what I got for the weekly wrap up. I'm sorry, guys. That's what I got for the midweek analysis. As always, if these reviews are bringing any value or adding any value to your trading journey, please feel free to like, share, and most of all, subscribe. It really helps out a lot, guys. Again, if you want to join my private Telegram group, that's Precision Pips LLC.com. Sign up for the silver package. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, tuning in, getting this knowledge, and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here. Please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know? Yeah, baby. Yeah.